Okay, Ryan, you were next. Go ahead.
Thank you. So my name is Ryan Jayne. I'm a constitutional attorney with the Freedom from Religion Foundation. And this is the wrong body to address these concerns with the wrong rule and for the wrong reasons. Ensuring an equal playing field for women's sports is a nuanced question, and the science on it is not as conclusive as others might have you believe, or as was recently suggested. The right solution is to allow experts, sports organizations, considering the latest science and with input from the trans community, to decide what restrictions are appropriate, if any, at each stage of competition. This is already the approach at the most elite levels, where the NCAA, the International Olympic Committee, have issued and updated rules on this topic without any significant problems to date. That more nuanced science-based approach has been effective at the elite level, so it should be pretty clear that there's no question that a total ban on transgender girls playing in girls' sports at lower levels, where the vast majority of athletes care more about participation than record setting, is not needed. A fair playing field at the Olympic level is certainly good enough for an elementary school soccer team or a JV swim meet. Consider the harm that this bill would do. Trans kids are more likely to attempt suicide because they're already so marginalized. Participating in sports can build confidence and a sense of community, but only if the athlete is part of their community. It should go without saying that a trans female is not likely to want to play with a bunch of boys. The sole effect of this bill will be to drive trans female students out of school sports altogether. We should be honest about this bill's motivation. After trying to pass trans bathroom bans around the country, anti-trans legislators have not suddenly discovered a love for women's sports. It wasn't about bathrooms then, and it's not about women's sports now. Trans athlete bans in Wisconsin, as in many other states this year, are about demonizing trans kids, sending a clear message that they are outsiders in order to score some cheap political points. If you do care about protecting women's sports, this bill is not the way to do it. And finally, I just want to mention that a couple issues that came up before, the language between Title VII and Title IX about sex discrimination is almost identical, so I think it's nonsensical if it were to suggest that it might come out as a different interpretation. So this legislation does just run headlong into the Bostock decision. And then also, in case there was any question about how prevalent this issue is, it should be clear that everyone so far today has been pointing to exactly one example in Connecticut about anyone that this bill would ever apply to. All the examples in Wisconsin have been trans females in their 20s and 30s that this bill has nothing to do with. Thank you.
All right, thank you for